Throw home is not going to be in time. The Cougars have won it.
And the game is over. Charleston hangs on to win it at home.
Welcome everyone to the 2015-2016 Women's College Basketball Preview, and we're joined by second-year head coach Candace M. Jackson. Coach Jackson, the first year probably didn't go the way you expected or wanted, but year two is now here. And talk a little bit about year one and just really kind of learning in terms of your team, because it was your first year as the head coach.
Well, year one, I think that's a good way to start. It's definitely a learning experience. We had an interesting year with some injuries and just having some people that had to change roles, going from more of a role player to being more in the forefront and having a dominant role on the court, playing a lot more minutes than they were used to. I love the fact that my team played as hard as they did. There were some games that obviously didn't go our way, but the record does not really reflect how hard that we played. And so for year one, you know, that's a learning experience that I'm very appreciative of. Year two, we're looking different. I'll say that, we're looking much different.
Talk about the off season, because now that you had a chance to see your team, evaluate your team, get your freshman year, what was the summer like for you guys?
The summer was interesting because they all came in with a different mindset. We had a beginning of the year meeting, and with the freshmen and the two transfer students that we had, everybody had different goals in mind, and we were able to consolidate them and to get to the common denominators. They just want to win. They want to do better than we did last year and make some noise in the conference this year.
You're very fortunate. You have some really strong upperclassmen in terms of leadership, and one is the junior, Bree Bolden. Bree, definitely a scorer, very tenacious on the defensive end. Talk a little bit about your junior.
Bree is going to play a big role for us this year, both on offense and defense, coming back from the CAA Defensive Player of the Year last year. She is looking to really expand her defensive prowess as far as when we press, in our matchup zone, and anything that we do. She's really taken a focus in the offseason to getting better on the defensive end, guarding better players, playing against guys and doing different things there. Offensively, she's great. She's gotten a lot better. Her shot has improved. Her confidence has improved, and I think that she'll definitely be a force to reckon with this year.
You have two seniors that have done a great job for you, did a great job, I should say, for you last year. Tell us a little more about Kelsey Booth, one of your front court seniors.
Kelsey is actually a fifth-year transfer coming from Siena. She's going to be a new face. I think people will be very familiar with her immediately just because she is probably one of our best outside shooters that we'll have on the team. She and Jackie Luna Castro, which is interesting coming from the post position, that they are probably two of our best three-point shooters this year. They'll present pretty good matchups for some players, post players, that will play against, just being able to step outside and play on the inside as well. Their leadership this year has really been unmatched. They both lead by example, one a little bit more vocal than the other, but still setting a very good tone for our team.
You know, one thing that impressed me last year about Jackie Luna Castro is just her versatility, Coach. It seems like whether she needed to guard a guard or a post player or whatever you needed her to do, she was able to do it. Just talk more about her versatility that we saw last year.
It's funny that you say that, and we talk about defense. Jackie has primarily played underneath on offense and defense, and then one day in practice when we were low in numbers, Jackie stepped up and she played the top of our zone, and she looked better. Almost better than Bree.
Wow.
She looked better just from using her length and her size and everything. Jackie's versatility, starting out really as a 5, and then I kind of moved her to the 4 last year, and now she's able to play a little bit of both this year, is really going to help us.
Yeah, another challenging schedule coming up for the ladies this year. It all starts a doubleheader. That's something that we don't normally see here at Charleston, is a men and women's doubleheader. Both are going to kick the season off on November 13th. You guys are going to play at 4 o'clock. You're going to host Houston. A pretty big name opponent coming to the TD Arena.
I think it's just a great opportunity for us to open the season the right way. Houston, their head coach is actually a good friend of mine. We talked about it. We both got our head coaching jobs last year. We wanted to play each other this year to kind of be able to see where we were from year 1 versus year 2. Houston coming from the AAC and the conference that they're in, playing Connecticut and South Florida and East Carolina, it definitely will help us as we get started in the rest of our non-conference play and going into conference play.
Saturday, November 28th is kind of like the city rival as you will battle Charleston Charleston Southern. You guys have been able to, as of late, seem to own that rivalry. Talk about CSU coming to the TD Arena.
You know, not playing them last year, I didn't really get a chance to experience what it's like to play against a crosstown rival. We're really looking forward to playing against them this year. We've talked about it as a team and just being able to, as you say, own the city and to have the city rights in that standpoint. I think the 28th is going to be a really fun game for us.
Now, a game I want to challenge the fans to come out for December 20th. The Louisville Cardinal coming to the TD Arena.
They are.
One of the top 5 teams in the country. A couple of Final Four appearances here as of recently. Coach, how did that game come about?
They called and asked if we would be interested in playing, and we said yes, and they wanted to come here first, and we said, all right, we'll take it. I think it's a great game to go into Christmas break with. We have one more after that, but just for, for our students and for the fans and for the community to really come and see and have an opportunity to see us against one of the best teams in the country.
Well, it's going to be a very exciting year this year for the women's basketball team. Candace M. Jackson, I should say, with her upperclassmen and some new blood here in the program. It's going to be a very exciting time. Tickets still available. You can always call 953-CFC, 953-CFC. Coach Jackson and her girls would appreciate your support, so come on out and see some exciting Cougar basketball. As the ladies, they'll get their season started November 13th, Friday. They'll play at 4 o'clock. The men will play at 7:30. So come out, spend a day down here in Charleston and see some exciting Charleston basketball.